Good afternoon. We are Nantucket, which is south of Boston, famous island of the rich and famous. And you've probably seen many of these big jets out there. Looks like an airliner sitting over there at the main airport. Anyway, we're going to take off and we're heading to LaGuardia. What we're going to do is we're going to catch a flight over to Roland Garros. We're going to Paris to watch the French Open tennis. Okay, here we go, full power. LaGuardia, and I hope to land on runway 4. The famous citation Longitude. Says it right on the ending, so I don't have to forget. And wheels up, the flaps up. We'll see if we get the autopilot on. Maybe. So we'll go inside. And no.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, contact Boston Center on 128.75.
So we're going to go to Boston Center in just a second. We're getting on course here. We're climbing to 8,000 feet, and we're climbing at 3,000 feet a minute. So we're coming around to get on course. Yep, looks like it's going to do that.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, acknowledged.
Okay.
Last transmission.
We'll do that. We'll go ahead and do that.
128.75 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. Goodbye.
And we'll go ahead and talk to Boston Center. We'll see how much. What we have to do here is we have to put on the auto throttle. Auto throttle. Yeah, it was already on. So the airspeed was getting too high, was what that was about. Boston Center.
Boston Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie is passing 3,500 feet, climbing 8,000 feet.
So we got the flaps up and the gear up.
527 Bravo Charlie, Boston Center altimeter 29.9.
Look over here and we're on course. We'll look back at Nantucket, right there. And if we go up to the north, we're heading west. So if we look up to the north, would be Boston up that way. So goodbye to Nantucket, and we've got to talk to Boston here. So they'll give us another altitude. They shouldn't run us up too far because I requested a low altitude. So bye-bye Nantucket.
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
16's not bad. We can do that. Go inside here. Take it up to, we have to acknowledge, because I always forget. If I do it first, it's too long.
Climb and maintain 16,000 feet, Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
And we go ahead and do that. And we go to over here to 16,000. And I think we already got to out. Let's see, if we still got 3,000 feet a minute cranked in. So we'll just sit tight. We'll look and see if we're on course. Yeah, we're on course here. And I like to look outside and see what's going on out there. And we're starting to see the outer islands of Long Island. And what we do now is we bring in the weather. We're not concerned about weather, but we're going to put the sun more in the south. And as we will head to the west, we'll stay right there, and we're going to 16,000 feet. I don't know what that little noise was, but it looks like we still have our wings and our tail on, 2 engines. And we got our power all the way up, so I guess we got to get up above 12,000 before we can get going too much faster here. I'm not real familiar. I haven't flown out here a lot, so this one of these right here could be Martha's Vineyard. And maybe they don't call it Long Island yet. So we'll get across the Long Island here. And to the south we would see, let's go over this side here. Now it's just open Atlantic Ocean right there. So truing out at 326 knots. And that says we can go 270 indicated. So that should pop up as we get up to higher altitude. We can go a little faster. Yeah, we was watching today on the tennis, and yeah, look at that's Martha's Vineyard right there.
Cessna 8 Whiskey Delta contact Boston Center on 124.85. Good day.
So there, Martha's Vineyard.
Cessna 8 Whiskey Delta.
So
Goodbye.
we should be leveling off here. Here's our power coming up. So we got 320 knots indicated we can do now. Yeah, we'll just drop this down here a little bit. Look out here for, yeah, we'll keep an eye on Martha's Vineyard for a minute here. So we're level at 16,000. We can see the barber pole coming down at our speed limit, structural speed limit. So we are doing we're going to kick up here to 400 knots, 399. Down here in the lower left-hand corner, there we are, 400 knots. That's pretty good. And the auto throttle is functioning. We're pumping out 77% power, which is not our full power, but we're staying under our structural capability. Now we start looking for Long Island out here. Let's see where I see a little pin, which of course on a real chart you'd never have anything like this. But I have it, so for instance like the Martha's Vineyard back there, it popped up, the name popped up because I have asked for those little pins to pop up. So I don't have to go into edit and add that because I'm too lazy. I just don't like editing. I like flying. I don't want to edit, I want to fly. So we're going to go over, I was watching the tennis earlier and I saw where, I missed the first two sets. They're on TV right now, replayed the whole match. And and by the time you guys see this, it'll be news that he didn't make it into the fourth round, and that is
Cessna
Joker.
7 Bravo Charlie contact Boston Center on 124.85. Good day.
Call him Joker, Djokovic, I think is how you pronounce it. Was that for us? Okay, yeah.
124.85 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
There
Goodbye.
you go. So there's not a lot of traffic out
Boston
here.
Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie 16,000 feet.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie Boston Center altimeter 29.9er 2 radar contact. Continue to flap.
Flape intersection.
Goodspeed 434 traffic is 8 o'clock 2 miles at 7,700 feet (TBM 9). Report them in sight.
So we're
Goodspeed
doing
259er traffic
doing
is 11 o'clock 2 miles
403 knots.
at 7,200 feet (TBM 9). Report them in sight.
So we're going to let the airlines take our little group over to
Goodspeed 2,
Paris.
clear traffic in sight.
I have no idea what it would cost to lease
Goodspeed
a
4 tree, 4 have the daughter TBM
citation
9 in sight.
longitude and fly to Paris. But we'd be sitting on the ground for a week. We can't afford to have something like this sit on the ground. There's probably a minimum of 3 hours a day or 2 hours that you have to use it. And of course, owning one, it's a whole other thing that I can't even imagine. Well, I can, out in the distance, it's got to be Long Island that we're seeing out here. And I remember the chart here. We can look right on here and see where we are. What the heck's wrong with me? So here we can see how we're doing, and we're going to change our course just a little bit here shortly, and go to Orca, and hit the tip of Long Island right there. And you'll see it click here, a little change of direction to the right, and we'll be on the outer tip. Here's New Haven, H-A-V-N. New Haven's right there, and you've heard me go in and out of Bridgeport. That would be right there, and that's Igor Sikorsky's memorial. So there our course changes just ever so slightly, and we end up heading for Orca, which, let's see what Orca is. It doesn't say. And we'll look here, folk, see what this airport is here. West Hampton, yeah. We've heard of West Hampton before. The Hamptons out on Long Island. Very, very wealthy. FRG, let's see what that is. Farmingdale. I think Farmingdale has something to do with Grumman Aircraft, maybe? It's in Farmingdale? I know Grumman is out on Long Island. Possibly Farmingdale. Islip. I've heard of Islip, but I've never been there. Let's see what this... Block Island. I've heard of Block Island because they talk about it on weather reports. I've never been to Block Island, but they refer to that on a lot of the weather reports. I guess they have a weather station out there. So here comes the tip of Long Island right here. And when we click on here, it'll say Long Island, New York, West Hampton, New York, and New York is Long Island is part of New York. There you go. So we don't need to look at that anymore. And let's see, we're clocking along at 4:03. They're going to leave us at 16,000 feet, so we won't have to do a lot of climbing. We'll go ahead and take another look here. That's pretty good right there. We'll go inside, just check our gauges and everything inside here. We can pop this over one click, and you can see how we made that little change in course right there on the right screen. And we're heading for Orca, is this intersection right there. And Block Island, I guess that's Block Island right there. Let's see what it said. What is it? BID, Block Island. Yeah, that's Block Island right there. Okay, we're doing good. This is capable of 0.8 Mach, and we're doing 0.6, so we'd have to be up at 30,000 feet to get 0.8 out of it. It's a relatively short flight for this machine. We'll go back outside and see Long Island coming up. Gardner's Island Landing, never heard of that, but doesn't matter. Oh, what's that? Montauk Point. Yeah, I've heard of Montauk Point. So I guess that's Montauk Point right there. Another location, another geographical point that's used in a lot of weather reports. Block Island and Montauk. And Montauk being a point would be probably used in navigation a lot. Because to go into the Long Island Sound, you'd have to go around Montauk Point to get in there. This is the beginning of the Long Island Sound right here. The body of water is between Long Island, which we're flying over, and Connecticut, which is a little bit. And back out here to the right is going to be Rhode Island. It's going to be up in there. And we're still plucking along at 400 knots. We're doing good. Now you can start seeing there's East Hampton Airport coming up under us. And you can see that really has some beautiful shore. Up. We don't want to do that. Let's see what we do here. Will this get us back? Yeah. Haha. Getting a little smarter. When I end up getting Westmoreland. I used to live on Westmoreland in LA. That's the first time I've seen Westmoreland out here. I didn't know there was such a place on Long Island. So again, we're right over East Hampton. That's popular. What's this one say? Foster Farm. And we'll just go right on down the island. We'll probably see Kennedy as we approach Manhattan. And we better check, make sure we haven't. No, they're just leaving us alone. That's nice.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, contact Boston Center on 124.525.
It'll get busy.
124.525 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. Goodbye. Boston Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie, 16,000 feet.
Another little course change.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie, Boston Center altimeter 29.92 radar contact. Continue to Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Okay, there's Charlie, Charlie, Charlie right there. And we'll just pick our way, I don't know whether you call that down or along.
Boston Center JetBlue 551 Heavy is passing flight level tree 30, climbing flight level tree 60.
What's K-Folk?
JetBlue 551 Heavy, Boston
West
Center
Hampton.
radar contact. Continue to
So
WOPNR.
there are the Hamptons. We just flew over the Hamptons. I've never done that before. Gabreski sounds like a hockey player. But people living in Gabreski probably won't like that. Yeah, we'll see what this little spot is right there. Talmadge. Used to live on Talmadge Road in Ukiah, so I'm sure they have nothing in common other than the name. Ukiah's in California, just in case. That's where I did most of my flying, was in California. Learned to fly on the East Coast.
Care 418 contact approach on 120.05. Good day.
This is my first flight since turning 89. on May 27th.
120.05 care 418. Goodbye.
Having the time of my life. I don't have to pay for gas. I don't have to pay for parking, hangar, insurance.
Airfon 75 heavy contact Boston Center on 124.85. Good day.
I'm having a lot of fun. Never having to leave Monterey. I get to go all over without leaving town. How's that? So now we're starting to see Connecticut across the Long Island Sound. And my grandparents, I'll point out Bridgeport, but Fairfield is close to Bridgeport. I think that's where my dad was working when he met my mother. It must have been summertime because they had a summer home in Fairfield. You've heard me talk about that. This could be New Haven right here.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Wow, that'll be fun. We get down close to the...
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet, Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
Okay. Do that. We go inside. Then
Boston Center good speed 29er tree is at
look at
8,800 feet,
the
climbing
chart.
15,000 feet.
Check what we're doing.
Good speed 29er tree, Boston Center altimeter 29.9 2 radar contact, continue.
Yeah, we'll put it at 1,700 feet. And our auto throttle should come back. See the throttle coming back because we put our nose down. We don't need as much power to keep going at the speed that we were going. And they'll want us to slow us down to 250, which actually I don't realize it, but you know, when you're flying faster, you really need when you're changing directions and altitudes and all that, you need somebody to talk on the radio. And this is a little bit...
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie contact Boston Center on 132.3. Good day.
Little difficult
Going
to
to
do both at the
132.3
same
Cessna
time.
7 Bravo Charlie.
We're heading down for 10,000 feet.
Boston Center Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie is passing 14,400 feet, descending 10,000 feet.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie Boston Center altimeter 29.9 2 radar contact. Continue to Jaffe.
And that's the intersection that's up ahead here, and that's probably it right there, Jaffe intersection. And we'll just keep flying down. And I was going to look and see where Bridgeport. Bring this chart in. And we'll get this out a little bit. And that's Bridgeport right there. It doesn't say it, but I know it is. And then just to the right was New Haven. Here's New Haven. And then right here, let's see what that is. It doesn't say. But the Connecticut River was out to the right, where we used to go later in the summer. Connecticut River's going to be over there going into Connecticut. But, you know, right along in here, Fairfield was right along in there. We used to go there in the summers. It was a summer home. And now we're down to we've got permission to go 300 knots, and we're still going 356. This indicated 300. We're truing out at 354 knots.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie contact New York approach on 125.85. Good day.
Going to 125.85 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. New York approach Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie is passing 10,900 feet, descending 10,000 feet.
Cessna 527 Bravo Charlie, New York, approach altimeter 29.902 radar contact, continue to trans.
Oh, and I just learned where Fire Island is. I thought it was a little island, but it's a strip of land that's outboard in
Cessna
the
7
Atlantic
Bravo
Ocean.
Charlie, descend
Yeah,
and
this
maintain
would
4,000 feet.
that would be Fire Island. That strip right along there. I didn't realize it was a long strip like that. Well, we got to answer that and then do what she says, which is to drop down to 4,000
Descend and maintain
feet.
4,000 feet, Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
We go like this and down to 4,000. 4,000 feet. There we go. Republic, there used to be a Republic aircraft. I'm not sure of whether
Cessna
that...
7 Bravo Charlie, you are 26 miles east. Keep speed not above 240 knots. Expect RNAV Yankee runway 4 approach via GGREG transition. Cleared to GGREG.
Okay, we gotta acknowledge that.
Keep speed not above 240 knots. Expect RNAV
It
Yankee
does run
runway
us
4
around a
approach
little
via
bit, so-
GGREG transition. Cleared to GGREG Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
They wanted us at 240 knots, so we can go in here and we click on this, and then we can start running 240. We'll just start slowing us down a little bit like that. So now we are controlling our airspeed with this little job right here. So as we get closer in, we'll get it down to 200. So right now we should be at 240, but it's showing 270. But here we got 239 in here. That was what we programmed. So since we're losing altitude till we get down to 4,000. And you can see the number that we're going down to is right in here, 4,000. Over here on the right, on the tape, on the right, the lower right-hand corner. We're going to get down to 4,000 feet. And we're heading for LaGuardia, but we're going to get there a little bit here and there. And we're looking out, probably out toward Kennedy. Should be right out about in there. But let's look over this way and look at Connecticut, this Stamford and Darien and little towns along here. Just beautiful stuff.
Climb and maintain 4,200 feet. Keep speed not above
Now we're
240 knots.
coming
Expect
back on,
localizer runway 4 approach via GGREG
Never heard of
transition.
Sands Island Point.
Cleared to
And along in
GGREG.
here is Washington, Connecticut. My cousin used to live in Washington, Connecticut. They moved down to Sailfish Point, down
Climb
just
and maintain
above
4,200 feet. Keep
West
speed
Palm
not above
Beach.
240 knots. Expect localizer runway 4 approach via
Palm
GGREG
Beach.
transition. Cleared to GGREG Air Canada 718 Heavy.
And where are we? We got 239 on there. We're down here at 230. We're doing okay. Let me bring this throttle back a little bit, just so when I go to handling the throttle, we turn off the auto throttle. We'll look at our chart, see how we're doing on the chart. Yeah, there we go. So we just turned south, and then we're going to turn and go right over. I think we're going to go right over LaGuardia, and then we do a little bit of a racetrack, like a holding
Endeavour
pattern.
5353
There's
traffic
Kennedy
is 11
right
o'clock,
out
4
there.
miles at 4,000 feet Cessna C700. Report them in sight.
So we'll keep the speed.
Cessna 7
We
Bravo
have it.
Charlie traffic is
yeah,
4
but-
o'clock, 4
yeah.
miles at 4,600 feet Cessna Skyhawk.
I don't
Report them
think-
in sight.
I don't think we're going to see him. So we're doing all right on that chart. I don't
Endeavour
see,
5353 have the traffic.
I don't see the traffic. We'll tell them no sighting.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie don't have the traffic.
So now we can tell you where I think LaGuardia is right over in here. We're going to get there eventually. We're going to head to Manhattan. We're going to go over Manhattan. I can't quite see that. I can see what might be the Statue of Liberty. When something is handcrafted, it stands out differently. But I can see Manhattan Island out here. And of course at the end of Manhattan Island, where it goes right along there, right over in there is where LaGuardia is. Way in the distance you might see the George Washington Bridge right out over there. I have never come in this direction. These little markers are for seaplane base. Edo was the name of oh, this is LaGuardia right here. Right there is LaGuardia. So that's Flushing Bay right in there. And the Bronx is right on the other side there. Of course, the George Washington Bridge was what I was pointing at. Let's see if we see we don't see that thing sticking up. Now I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more. We'll get it down to 200. And we're going to put a notch of flap down.
Endeavor 5353 descend and
When we
maintain
get to fly
4,000
over
feet.
New York, we're flying right over LaGuardia, and we're going to land right at on that runway that's right under us right now, right there. That's the one that Sully took off from. Look at the traffic
Descend and
is
maintain
landing in the
4,000
opposite
feet.
direction.
Endeavor 5353.
So we're going to have a little, it's going to be a little tricky. Let's see if, let's see if the approach kicks in. Yeah, there's our approach, so we'll be intercepting the glide slope. But let's get back outside and enjoy looking at the Central Park right in front of us. There's the Empire State Building, and then the World Trade Center is down in the Battery. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. The Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building right there. This is the East River, and we're looking down there. Right there is the Brooklyn Bridge. And I used to mispoint the Statue of Liberty, but it's probably right about there. We'll see it on the way back up. Madison Square Garden. I wouldn't know where Madison, but it just said Madison Square Garden somewhere in there. There goes Manhattan, and we're doing 200, and we got everything thing on. I think actually right now we probably
Cessna 7
should.
Bravo Charlie, keep speed not above 200 knots.
Yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're doing 200 knots, and let's see how we're doing. Yeah, we're going to make a left turn. We now have the racetrack that we're going to do, and we're going to go
Cessna 7
down
Bravo
to
Charlie, did you
about
hear
the
my last transmission?
Statue of Liberty and come back in. This is fun. Wow.
Keep speed not above 200 knots, Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
And we're doing real good. We're over New Jersey. If we look back this way, we might see the stadium, and that would be near Teterboro. And the stadium they play in, I forget what the name of it is, but it's right over near Teterboro. That might be it right there, where the Jets and the Giants both play there. So we won't have to put our wheels down until we get heading back in. Let's get it on. Let's turn off the auto throttle and
Auto throttle.
we'll see. We're now controlling the throttle by hand, and we're at 50% throttle. So I now have control of the throttle, and we'll see when our glide slope starts coming down, so we can intercept the glide slope as we come back in. And we're looking at right on the chart here, so we don't have to bring up this chart right here. We've got it right on our screen. And normally in an aircraft, this would be a touch screen. I believe these Garmin screens are touch screens, and so you can move the map around everything the way I do this map here. I can move it around, and that's what you can do with this one normally. But with the you don't have to move it. I will be watching. We have everything's green except the glide slope, and when we intercept the glide slope, that will also turn green. So we come south here, and we got it at 200 knots, and most of the traffic doesn't go any faster than 200 knots once they get in close. They might give us a slightly lower altitude, but I don't think so. I think 4,000 should they might give us 3,000 as we come down to the south here. Let's get outside and watch as we go downtown, and looking back at so we flew right past the Statue of Liberty. It was right there. Now we'll look back on here and make sure we're yeah. So we're just going south. I forget what the name of this bay is. It's New Jersey. We're over New Jersey, and we can look out to the right and see Newark Airport. There it is. Newark Airport's right back there. And again, we'll be turning back inbound and going right up the East River right there. Wow, we got to see the whole thing. So we're over Staten Island. We're over New Jersey, I think, at this point. I think this was Staten Island back up in here. Or we're over Staten Island. I think we're over Staten Island. Yeah, we're over Staten Island. This is New Jersey. I forget Red Bank. I forget where Red Bank is, but this might be Red Bank out in here. Let's see what we get out in here. Anyway, we're coming around nicely, and we're doing 186. We probably can bring down another notch of flap. We'll just wait till we're inbound. All on autopilot.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
There we go. 3,000 feet. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm not going to do anything yet.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet, Cessna
I'm
7
going
Bravo
to
Charlie.
look at our chart here, see if I don't see our glide slope yet. So they want us down to 3,000. We're at 4,000. So we just go click out here. We'll go ahead down to 3,000. And we're going to just go down to about 1,700 feet a minute. Yeah, we'll look back here at New York, and we'll be lined up to fly right up the East River. Back inbound. We'll look back over here for Kennedy. There's Kennedy right out there, right out in there. Yeah, we could have gone into Kennedy, but we wouldn't have had as much fun flying over parts of New Jersey and Manhattan, and then flying up the East River, like I did in the little Piper Tri-Pacer just after I got my private license. I flew up from Norfolk, Virginia.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, descend and maintain 1,800 feet.
And I'm going to acknowledge that, but I'm going to just wait for it to. It
Descend
will
and maintain
intercept.
1,800 feet. Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
It'll intercept the glide slope here. We'll see it coming down. I don't see it yet. There, it looks magenta there. It should start coming in. I'm going to put the gear down. I'm going to put another notch of flap in, and I'm going to slow it down to 150. Bring the power back, and it should, with a little more drag, it'll get on the tail here. So we'll see how things are going, and we'll get it down to 150. And we'll see how we're doing on the glide slope coming down. I haven't seen it yet. And one more notch of flap for full flap. Have to bring up the power a little bit. Oop, see how the power? See, we got it a little bit slow. We should have it about 130.
Airspeed.
We have to click the auto throttle came back on.
Auto throttle. Auto throttle.
Okay. Where's our glide slope? Come on. Oh, we just went by the glide slope, I think. I'm not sure. So I'll drop it down.
Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie, descend and maintain 1,700 feet.
So we'll go ahead down to 1,700. We'll take it down to 2,000.
Airspeed.
So we screwed it up on the airspeed.
Acknowledge.
Airspeed there. And 140 is just about right. And I'm looking, yeah, now I see the
Descend and maintain 1,700 feet. Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie.
yeah, there goes our glide slope right there. No, that isn't it. That isn't
Cessna
it.
7 Bravo Charlie, you are 7 miles southwest of LaGuardia.
There,
Contact tower on 118.7 when inbound on the approach.
there it is right there. So it should have intercepted that. There it
Sync
goes.
rate. Sync
There it
rate.
goes.
Pull up.
There it goes.
Pull up.
Should
Cessna 7
grab a
Bravo
hold.
Charlie, did you copy?
Should grab a hold of that glide slope right there. Okay, let's say okay.
Tower on 118.7 Cessna 7
So
Bravo
it's
Charlie.
not grabbing. Well, okay. What I have to check
Clear
here.
to land runway 22 number 4 Brickyard 4624 heavy.
Let's see here. It's still on approach. Okay. It's not responding here. Let's see here. Yeah, it might be. I think it has it now. The glide slope. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and land. We're a little slow. I get on the tail, go to the tower, see we're not quite lined up, turn the autopilot off. Autopilot off.
Autopilot.
Yeah,
Air
just go
Canada
ahead
718
and
Heavy
land.
exit runway when able.
And we'll say hi to the tower.
Tower Cessna 527 Bravo, Charlie 3 miles southwest inbound, RNAV Yankee runway 4 approach.
Air Canada 718 Heavy contact ground on 129.675. Cessna 527 Bravo, Charlie Tower. Altimeter 29.9er, 2 wind calm cleared RNAV Yankee runway 4 approach. Cessna 7 Bravo, Charlie wind calm cleared to land runway 4.
200.
Endeavour 5348 number 4 for landing. Follow the Cessna Skyhawk on final. Wind calm cleared to land runway 22. 129.675 Air Canada 718 Heavy. Goodbye. Delta 27 Tree 2 Heavy go around. Clear to land runway 22 number 4 Endeavour 5348.
There's a guy going the opposite direction.
Cessna 7 Bravo, Charlie exit runway when able.
Yeah, I knew I was landing in the wrong direction. We're lucky that they let us
Going
land
around
in
Delta 27 Tree
the
2
wrong
Heavy.
direction. But I've
Delta
never
27 Tree 2 Heavy
done that
contact
approach
down
before,
on 124.55.
and it didn't lock on properly. That
Cessna 7 Bravo, Charlie contact ground on 1.375. 124.55 Delta 27 Tree 2 Heavy. Goodbye.
we'll just go right over in here.
131.375 Cessna 7 Bravo Charlie. Goodbye.
Watch out that we don't run into a fuel truck. That wouldn't be good. Well, we're not going to worry about that. That's why I need a co-pilot. Look at they got their airliners can come in over here. Oh, they got one of my little compatriots right over here. So we'll get back on the tail and just bring it right in here. There we go. We get inside and
American
Turn
2086
it.
Heavy, turn next taxiway.
shut her down.
American 2086 Heavy contact ground on 1.375.
It sure was a scenic route, but it got too busy at the end for me. I need to have a co-pilot. So let's go back outside. Look at
American 2086 Heavy.
Look at LaGuardia.
Goodbye.
This is where we'll be boarding our flight to Paris. Okay, thanks a lot. Still up and flying. Not going to give up yet. Thanks for riding along. Bye-bye.